Hello, everybody. It's Dave Neal, stand-up comic and host of Bachelor Nation News. I'm back home at Dave Neal Enterprise Worldwide Headquarters, and we are here with our first Friday morning video of the day. Michelle Young shares influencer struggles. She also announces her new motivational platform, speaking engagements, what she plans to do moving forward with her sort of platform that she's acquired after being on The Bachelorette last year. So she said, I've watched my whole light fade. Let's get into it. Let's hear what she had to say. Follow me on Instagram at DNeals, patreon.com/Dave Neal. I'll be live at the 10 a.m. hour this morning on the West Coast, and you're going to want to be there if you want behind-the-scenes content, insider tea, every afternoon, Bachelor Rush Hour, the podcast, your daily buffet of Bachelor news. Okay, so let's get into it. She posted on her Instagram stories. I'm going to read what she said, and then I'll play for you the video she posted, her tearful admission that life's kind of been tough for her recently. Michelle Young said this: life is full of lessons. I've learned these lessons don't come conveniently, nor do they arrive in pretty packages. There are times where I've passed these lessons with flying colors, and even more times where I failed miserably. There have been countless mornings I've woken full of self-doubt, only to face my tear-filled eyes in the mirror and speak affirmations until I believe in myself again. I've watched my own light fade and fought like hell to get it back. I've experienced loss, some unnecessary, some necessary. I've learned the power of pausing. Pausing has allowed me to slow down enough to find my new momentum. This past summer, I spoke loudly about my mission to bring awareness and give back to various nonprofits, foundations, causes, and organizations each month. I've slowed down to get organized, to find a team of people who believe in me and share my vision. And now I'm ready to hit the ground running. I'm proud to finally show you all a small piece of where I'm heading and want you to join me for the ride. Through MichelleYoungOfficial.com, you can access exclusive and raw content, donation trackers of past and present campaigns, and follow me on my motivational speaking journey. Do a little exploring and make sure to subscribe so you can receive monthly newsletters, nomination reminders, and have access to resources that will allow us to make an impact together. I can't do this without y'all. Making the large impact takes passion, intention, and time. We are just getting started. #MyImpact. So, of course, we've got congratulations from Rachel Recchia, Caitlin Bristow, Blake Moynes, Kat Izzo. Everyone is pretty much, on Michelle's side and happy that she's taking sort of some, initiative to do good with her platform. And of course, some people are saying, what are you bringing awareness for? She just says she's bringing awareness. Maybe awareness needs awareness. Be aware, but she's going to get into that more, I'm sure. We'll read some comments, mainly all the positive ones, but also people going, what is this? Which is fair. It's actually very good feedback for Michelle. In a branding sense, if there is negative feedback. I know people say, think I'm so sensitive about some of the comments I get regarding my podcast, all the negative reviews are political based and this and that. I listen to the ones that are constructive feedback. Slow down, Dave. Have pacing. Don't say like. Okay, we can take those notes. And maybe Michelle will take some of the feedback from people going, I don't really get what the vision is. Because what's in the brain versus what you transmit vocally, sometimes it can get lost with the assumption that people know what the heck you're talking about. So here she is with a beautiful outfit here for her modeling photos for her new motivational speaking. So let's watch the videos she posted.
Move it up, move it down.
Working on the shoulder right there. She's kind of got that like sexy, chic Steve Jobs kind of, kind of like a Star Trek sort of outfit here. All right, so here's what she had to say.
The past few days have been insanely hard, to say the least. I picked up and moved to LA. I've been on the road so much that I haven't been able to get settled here. And there's just so much going on at the same time where, my heart wants to be in the classroom, but mentally it's just I know that I'm still recharging. Kind of finding your footing with a new profession and also in a new area has been a lot.
All right, so there she is. Now, there's obviously going to be a subsegment of people that have low-paying jobs that don't like what they do that are going to say this. Michelle, nobody cares. Cry me a river. That type of deal. I'm not doing that. I'm gonna defend Michelle here. But a lot of people don't understand the struggle, and some have called it rudderless. The idea where you kind of get a platform from being on a TV show. You get paid good money. It's in the six figures, But again, you lose your other income. So net, it's nothing crazy. You have agent fees and this and that. Still, it's good money. You get good money. It's like a nice boost to start off your new life here. But it's rudderless indeed, because everyone kind of finds a niche once they get out of Bachelor, the successful people. Blake Moynes is into animal conservation. Katie Thurston's into causing trouble online with her 12 Days of Mess. I'm kidding. She's doing stand-up. We've got Hannah Godwin's on a fashion side. Rachel Kirkconnell has sort of a fitness, leisure, lifestyle brand. So you can understand very quickly that you can see the people that make it have a clear identity. Now, a jack of all trades, master of none, which I consider myself a jack of all trades, master of none. Maybe I've mastered power recapping. I've mastered rambling. You're like, you sure did, Dave. Either way, it's hard when you're not ultimately very focused on one thing. If you're the guy who just does bicep curls, then maybe it's easy to become the bicep curl guy. Of course, Clayton Echard just got his book. Mine was delivered yesterday, 180 Degrees. Clayton Echard talking about mental health. Probably didn't know this is what he would have to talk about, but coming off of the show, being ostracized and hated as a normal, just probably lovable guy who's always been a people pleaser, he's had to go deep into his chambers of his heart to figure out why he is the way he is and how he can share his experience with loneliness, doubt, and darkness. I haven't read one page yet, and yet I encourage people to pick this book up. It's only $13. I'm going to start on this over the weekend. Can't wait. So the point being is that we all struggle with structure. We are moving into a world, and I know this pisses off people that work in the corporate world. The beauty of the corporate world, they tell you when to show up, they tell you what to do, and you work within a framework, and you're going to get paid for, succeeding. It's very structured in that sense. With freelance lifestyle, nobody's telling Michelle Young to get up in the morning. Nobody's telling her which companies to submit to or products to pitch, and it is so easy to ruminate, which means to express the same negative emotions over and over. It's so easy for that to happen. I recommend the book, The Perfection Detox. My friend Petra, I'm slipping on her last name. She wrote The Perfection Detox, which is the idea that we're so hung up on being perfect with everything that we do that we'll ruminate with negative thoughts as we see a social media that's curated with everybody else's success. So how do you overcome this, Michelle Young? Well, the daily mantras and the daily sort of acceptance and self-love is a big part of it. And finding a structure that works for you. So Michelle Young is probably good at putting together a teacher or a lesson plan for her students and knows the structure to teach them the curriculum, and yet she's in a world where no one's giving her that structure. And look, Michelle Young's been given opportunity that many other alumni haven't been given in recent years. I don't see Rachel Recchia taking huge brand name deals. I don't see, Gabby Windey has had a lot of exposure, obviously, Dancing with the Stars tour and all that jazz. But Michelle Young's been, and it's not to say she shouldn't feel the pain she's feeling. That pain she's feeling is just an indicator that you're not quite doing what you're supposed to do. But I don't blame her for not wanting to run back into the teacher's room where you're making $50,000 a year. I don't blame her one bit. There is a big world out there. She's probably not extremely social media savvy the way someone like Susie Evans is. I'm sure it's frustrating to see other people whip out all these fun dance videos and this and that, and you're kind of forced to play this game to get into the algorithm of the system. What I encourage Michelle is to worry less about the game, the hack, to keep boosting the followers and really carve out what it is you want to do and learn what that is and just speak to that. So let's go to her page here. And again, I'm no guidance counselor. I'm just a couple years older, and everything I've done has been a freelance brick by brick building of a web that I now know what it is. And yet there were plenty of days where, and again, and she's at least got a six-figure chunk of money, which again can get spent very quickly. But Lancome advertisers, if we look at her partnerships, she's partnershiped with some very big companies. She's been featured with Lancome, Coca-Cola, Coors, Hippie Feet, Stitch Fix, Villa La Valencia. So she's making some money out there with her social media. Maybe not as much as some other alumni have made several years ago. She's kind of had a miss with the podcasting world. I believe that her and Becca, at least through Zoom, aren't a great fit because Becca's kind of like a commanding voice in the podcast world, which is a credit to Becca as a sole host, but I don't think works well as a duo. I think if anything, the best thing for Michelle would be for her to host her own podcast. That way she can actually see where she would stand in carrying an interview, and maybe it wouldn't be good. I'm not really sure. Although I think something with Michelle that's teacher-based would be nice, something that where she can provide education to people through the lens of a Bachelor alumni. That's just me. It's like if you're going to leave teaching, if you're going to leave 50 kids that you used to teach, how about have 10,000 now that you teach? That way you could justify it in a way that you feel impactful. So a lot of people are just asking, like, what is this all about? She said, challenge yourself to set up your non-negotiables up front and be honest with your feelings, intention, and goals. As an educator, television personality, speaker, and activist, Michelle Young inspires many. Her persona exudes charisma and positivity, and her message is strong and passionate. All right, I guess we'll just have to find out what it will be that she's speaking on. I think it's okay that like she might not have a clear identity of what it's going to be, but this was her announcement on social media of what she's going to be doing. So we're just going to be keeping an eye and looking at it. So she's got what appears to be, I guess, probably a merchandise line. I'm sure that'll go to the brands and companies she's building awareness for. And again, excuse me, no snark on my end whatsoever. It takes bravery to go out there and people say, oh, what could she possibly be motivating people about if she's teary-eyed and doesn't know exactly what she's trying to do with her life? Well, those are the people that can sometimes offer the best advice because they're in the thick of things and they're going through it. Now, obviously, we'll have to see how that all goes. I mean, it's not like she's speaking on financial investments and she's someone who doesn't get into that. She's probably going to speak. It's tough to find a comparison. She's probably going to speak on the struggles of finding your identity. That's just my guess. If I had to sit with her in a brand meeting, I'd ask all the questions that people on Reddit are asking. And here are some of the questions people are asking. People are saying, Michelle just needs more direction. If she's a motivational speaker, I have no idea what she's going to try to motivate me into doing. If she's a philanthropist, I have no idea what her cause is. There's no branding. It feels a bit rudderless. That's a lot of word salad to say absolutely nothing. Follow me on my motivational speaking journey. Yeah, no thanks. I read the whole thing and still don't know what it is. So anyway, someone said you pay her monthly to see one of her fundraising thermometers. I did not see an aspect of this that was a membership fee. I did not see an aspect of this whatsoever that was charging membership, so I'm not going to go ahead and say that. Speaking, organizing, inspiring, engaging, mentoring. Me personally, here's what I've said all along. And again, I'm excited for her. I'm not gonna if her branding's not ironed out, fine, whatever. She'll figure it out, or she won't. Who cares? But I think Michelle's gift as a teacher can be brought to a much greater cause if she tries to promote teachers working with legislative powers that be to change the education system in our country, to get more funding for teachers, maybe to take away funding from administrative costs so the teachers receive a higher pay, or so that what's taught in the curriculum actually is beneficial. Like these types of things on the political level might be very good for her to advocate for teachers like Katie Porter. Katie Porter's a fantastic congresswoman, right? And she does a great job because she exposes corruption through the lens of a teacher teaching the audience, certain things. Our country, the thing I think we lack the most is an education of how the political system works and how corporations are, sort of robbing us blind, and how they're in the pockets of political leaders. And I think regardless of your political ideology or identity, I think we can all agree that that's what takes place. Big pharma big insurance and big other corporations, NRA and others, they spend so much money getting our politicians elected that we need to find a better way to teach the class system in our country that we're getting robbed blind. I don't know. Did I make something political when it didn't need to be? Maybe. But man, if Michelle Young was going to go out there and be the face of the teachers union, I think that would be a great thing. But we'll have to see how it all pans out. Give her some love on our Instagram at the very least. We got a lot of content coming your way. We'll see you in a bit.